Hey everybody, it's Flyin Ryan here with a review of the Skytech M62 aircraft. And this is kind of like a micro Phantom. Pretty cool look there with the little landing gear. It's got a camera on it and the optional prop guards. Pretty cool little guy. Let's go into what it comes with first. So it has this kind of Cyma Xbox 360 style transmitter that I'm not a huge fan of, but you know, it works well enough, kind of designed for thumb flyers, but it is pinchable. This is the flip button on the left, and it actually does really nice flips even with the prop guards and landing gear and everything on. And then on the right is your rate switch, and there's two rates and only one yaw. The yaw doesn't change, but the yaw is a good yaw rate. You can actually do really nice funnels with this. Comes with a set of spare props, a prop removal tool, a screwdriver, a USB charger, a 512 megabyte micro SD card for the camera, and a little USB card reader for that. So pretty much everything you need other than batteries for the transmitter. This is the flight battery. It's a 350 milliamp hour battery. Takes about 45 minutes to charge. You get about 6-minute flights with the prop guards on, and you get about 6.5-minute flights with the prop guards off. And then there's about a 20-second LVC warning after that. So you get a decent little warning before you need to bring it back to land. So now let's get into some of the issues I've had with this. I want to start by saying this is actually a really nice flying quad. It's one of the best aerial video quads as far as flying goes that I've had. It just is a really nice, smooth, stable flying. I feel like it has plenty of power. It's not heavy in the air, even with the landing gear and props on it. It's got it's got the power to recover from maneuvers. It's nimble. It's just a really nice flyer. And it has LEDs on it. It has red in the back and green in the front. And again, kind of has that Phantom design with them on the bottom. However, my two front green LEDs do not work. So that was one problem I had right out of the box. And then the other problem, you see that this fell down. This little battery hatch is really weird, and so the battery and the cables and everything fits in there really tightly. There's just barely any room in there. Let me see if I can get that. I got the cable all jammed up in there. Well, I'm gonna have to pry that out. I can't really show it, but anyway, once you get the battery in there, there's barely any room to get the cables in there. And then this battery hatch had like this little swinging lever here, and then it was attached. There was this tiny little plastic nub. Oh, hello, Elsie. You can help me with the review. There's this tiny little nub that was on that door there, so you can twist it and lock that latch open and closed. However, this broke off after maybe 3 flights, so it barely even lasted very long. I think it's just too crowded, and this, being that it's attached to a screw, I think that screw kind of ended up tightening itself, and it's just really hard to move this, so the plastic ended up breaking off. So my hatch kind of doesn't really work, but it just kind of clips on, so you can remove it. So I just found myself, I just take it off, put the battery in there, and kind of wedge the wires up in there so they don't block the camera, and it flies just fine. It's not flying fast enough that that's going to make any really like aerodynamic difference or whatever. And there's your camera. It does have a pretty good downward angle to it, and there's no adjusting it. So it does film pretty low. Kind of the same problem I had with the Cyma X5C. Your angle of the camera is quite a bit lower than where it flies, so you have to be quite a bit above what you're trying to film. And the camera is only SD, so it's not a very high quality video. And I found it dropping frames quite a bit. Like every 10 seconds or so, there would be a skip in the video. which could be due to, you know, this may be a low quality memory card, and maybe if you put a higher quality memory card in there, it wouldn't drop frames as much because it's, you know, it's having trouble writing to the file fast enough. And then also the landing gear legs here are optional. They, you know, they aren't on when it comes in the box, and you just snap them in. But the way they snap in, it has kind of one of those plugs where, you know, it's got the grips on the outside. So once you put it in something, and then those grips hold, you can't pull it back out. It does not. These will not come back out now. There's no way for me to undo them, so I'd have to like take the quad apart, get on the inside to be able to pinch those two arms together, and then pull it out. So before you put these on, decide if you want them on for good or not. I would put them on. They work well, they look cool, they don't, you know, really affect flight, and, you know, then you've got room for your camera to land. And I just think they look really cool. That's one of my favorite parts about this quad. But it is kind of weird that, you know, they have these landing gears on the motor, so they obviously, you know, intended it to land without that. And I think it would still, yeah, the camera would still clear even without the legs. But, you know, again, I think that's pretty cool, so go ahead and put those on. Oh, and it does have a on-off switch, so when you get your battery all plugged in and jammed in there, you don't have to, then you can turn it on later. You don't have to try to bind it while you're sticking everything in that battery compartment. So that's kind of nice. I did find the card slot here a little awkward to get to with the landing gear on. It's kind of hard to get in and out of there and get to the card, but that's kind of a minor issue. Let's see, what else did I have to say about it? Yeah, I guess that's about it. Oh, it kind of rattles a little bit, I think, just because, you know, all the plastic and the, you know, everything connected to it and the body design. It's got a little bit of a rattle sound while it flies, but, you know, that's a very minor issue. But yeah, like I said, it's a great flying quad otherwise. You know, don't let it sound like I'm bashing on it too bad, because all those little problems really don't take away from the fact that it is just really, really fun to fly. So let's go take it for a flight and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, this is the flight review of the Skytech M62. One strange thing that I forgot to mention in the tabletop review is that you actually have to press this little center button on the right D-pad here to change modes. You'll see the power indicator light change. I don't know if that shows up in the lights, but the little inside power light turns blue. There's actually 3 different modes, but only 2 functions. As long as that blue light is lit up, it's in camera mode, and if the blue light's off, it's on flip mode. So you can either do flips or you can have the camera on. You can't do both. So I'll start out in flip mode, and then we'll change it to camera mode and show some camera footage. One of my front green LEDs is actually working right now. It kind of comes and goes if I touch it wrong, but and it's coming and going. So yeah, we'll see how long that stays on. If it stays on for a bit, maybe we'll try flying with the lights out, see what it looks like. But yeah, to start, I'll show you what it flies like. And so this is on low rates, and there's high rates, so the yaw does not change, but it's, you know, pretty decent yaw. I'm on high rates now, so doing some funnels. Pretty decent for a camera quad. And go back to low rates to do some nice precision flying. Oh, there's a prop guard test. But yeah, it's just a really nice flying quad. For a camera quad, I love the way it flies. It feels like it's got plenty of power. It's not, you know, doesn't kind of dog out at all and have trouble recovering after things. Just really nice, smooth flight. Let's do some flips. You've got to hold the button in, and it gives a bit of throttle before the flip on its own. But nice smooth flips, even with the prop guards on, or covers pretty decently. Oh gosh. Got a little crazy on the throttle there. Alright, so yeah, let's change to camera mode now. And so now I shouldn't, yeah, no flips now. But if I hit down on the left D-pad, now the camera should be going. Yeah, I can see the indicator on the camera. It is now recording video. And the camera angle is pretty low, so it's probably shooting my knees. I don't even know. It angles down quite a bit. And it's just an SD camera, so not, you know, super high quality video. But we'll go ahead and get a good sample of that. And it's also not widescreen, it's a 4:3 aspect ratio. Okay, and let's stop the video. And while my green LED is working, let's go ahead and land it. And let's go back to flip mode, turn off some lights, and see what it looks like in the dark. Hopefully that green LED doesn't go out on me mid-flight. But looks pretty cool. Man, I wish both of my green LEDs worked. Look at that, that looks really cool. Kind of glows through the body a bit, and then there's also the you know, LED windows on the bottom when you're looking up at it. But you can see it glowing through the body from all sides. That's pretty cool. So yeah, oh, and there goes the green LED. I have no idea what's going on with those LEDs. Just kind of comes and goes. But even with them out, it's still doable. I wanted to do some flips in the dark, but I don't think I'll do that with only 2 working LEDs. Let's see if I can even find my landing pad. Oh, kind of, not too bad. So yeah, that's the Skytech M62. A couple little, you know, issues with mine and some flaws, but yeah, I really like it otherwise. If I could guarantee that, you know, everything worked perfectly, especially those LEDs, I would highly recommend this one. It is one of the best micro camera quads that I've flown. Just a really nice, smooth flyer, good flips, and, you know, everything. So yeah, check the video description for a purchase link if you're interested. And I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.